All right. Well, hello and welcome everyone. It is Monday, February 24th. Crazy that we're already we've already almost finished the second month of 2020. And thank you guys for joining us. We've been Zooming into 2020 together as a team. So we're excited that you're on, and I am honored to have Dustin Wagner on with you guys today. And he and his wife Tiffany are just good people, and they have an amazing story. And I'm excited for him just to be able to pour into you guys and kind of share a little bit of his background. When I talk with him, I always just have new and different perspective because he was a previous business owner. I had never owned a business before. So he just brings so much knowledge to the table in a different way from so many of us. And it's typically, most of the things he says, I'm like, well, yeah, that makes sense. Why haven't I thought about that? Well, so excited to have Dustin on with us. And first off, Dustin, just introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about who you are, where you live, and how long you've been thriving with us.
Awesome. Can you hear me okay, Maria?
Yeah.
All right. Good. Well, first, thanks for having me on. I appreciate it. I think the last two times you asked me to speak, I believe I turned you down. That was when I first started Thriving, you guys. It was almost 6 years ago, 5.5 years ago. I was a new Thriver. She asked me to share in that Team Thrive Nation call, and I did not. I turned her down. I was nervous. I didn't want to speak. This whole gig wasn't for me. I'm not used to Zooms either here, so I'm just trying to make sure I got my speaker or my view right here. Awesome, there, got it, so I can see me now. So I was new to all this network marketing. I had 62 friends on Facebook, despised social media. I was the guy. I was that husband who didn't let their wife have the jean party. That literally the Vault denim jean thing or whatever it was. The only party my wife ever had at our house. I left. I was not happy about that situation. This whole industry was voodoo to me. I was a proud business owner. My family owns a lot of businesses, small businesses, mom and pop shops. And that was kind of, I thought that was cheating. This direct sales stuff was cheating. I didn't understand it. So when we got going on this, thankfully my wife didn't tell me anything about that she was going to start Thriving. I knew nothing about it. She probably told me. I probably didn't pay attention, that whole gig. But I came home from work one day. I owned a concrete business. And when I came home from work, I walked in the door. I opened up the door, and this weird smell hit me in the face. It was called a home-cooked meal. It had been quite a while since we had one of those, and it really just caught me off guard. And I walked in, the pile of papers was missing that was always right on the counter, the mail. And she came to me and right to the door, and she's got this sparkle in her eye. She's all excited, and I'm like, whoa, what happened? What's going on? Did you hire a maid? We can't afford a maid. I don't know what you're thinking, but whatever. And she lifted her shirt sleeve up and said, no, I'm thriving. And I'm like, what the is that? I'm from Wisconsin, you guys. We drink beer, we eat pizza, we eat cheeseburgers, cheese curds. Health and nutrition was not my thing. I got my health from that kind of food. And, I tried the gummy vitamins once or twice, didn't do anything. So that was where I was first exposed to it. And when she showed me that DFT, that sticker, I'm like, okay, that's the biggest gimmick in the world. Come to find out, like a couple days later, that became the piece of this company that made me realize these CEOs are pretty ingenious. I always knew there was a lot of good companies out there, a lot of good nutritional companies out there. I didn't need it though, because I was above all that stuff. But to be able to be walking around with an advertisement on your arm to know what company they were with, I just thought that was so ingenious, because from my perspective, owning a business, the most expensive part of your business is advertising. I would give away shirts with my company name on it, and that would cost me every time I gave it away. And people are walking around with my shirt. I'm hoping they might know what it is. Well, geez, guys, you can walk around and with the DFT on, and people are asking you what it is because it's so different. So I just thought right out of the gate, I'm like, okay, this company's a little different. So that's kind of where I got my start. I could go into my story a lot, but just know when I got my start there, was seeing it for the first time was great. Then I wanted to experience the product because I saw a change in my wife right away. And when it came to experience the simplicity, I'm like, even a concrete guy who gets up in the morning and leaves within 30 minutes of waking up to get out and start working, I could get it done in the beginning of my day. I'm like, this is smart. These guys are smart. They're making you do it right away in the morning, create a system like that, and you're done for the day. I knew other people could do it. And then I noticed the energy, mental clarity. 2 weeks in, the joint support, concrete guys, construction guys, those kind of guys, their hands, they get all stiff and they can't swing the hammer anymore. They can't run the trowel anymore. Their elbows and shoulders hurt. You start changing those things for guys. It's a big deal. So I knew at that moment it was a lot more than just energy. And that's kind of what got us rolling on the business side. It opened my eyes to the business. And we were fortunate to jump on a call right away. I know if you guys are new on here, you might not know what a call is because you probably don't use three-way calls. You should, right? Because they're amazing, right? That's what got us going in the beginning. We got on a three-way call and got some questions answered. And that was just the kickoff to it. About a month on product. And I had gone to 2 events without my wife. Because she was a volleyball coach at the time. And so I just went. I went to the event, and that first event I went to was in Rochester, 2.5 hours away drive for me. Thankfully, this is going to sound bad, guys. I tell how it is. If you've never seen me sharing a call or heard me sharing a call, like, I'm kind of straight shooter and I tell it how it is. But if it weren't for some good looking ladies on that flyer, you're going to that event, these drivers are good looking people, you guys. They always got smiles on their faces. I showed my buddy, I had to go by myself. I showed my buddy, I said, you're going with me to this. And he's like, no, I'm not. I'm like, there's some nice looking ladies. Just come sit in the room with me. Support your buddy. We'll drive down there. Okay. So that was literally the reason we got to that first event. That was how I got him to go with me. I would have never gone by myself. So it's kind of an interesting start. I had to borrow my mom's credit card, like the heading said, to buy our first pack. We lived in a trailer house, no money. But I knew what the products were doing for me, and I needed that energy that I was getting right away, that mental clarity I was getting right away. I knew I could make more money in my concrete business because I'd be able to work more hours and I'd be able to make that money back. And never dreamt it would roll into an actual network marketing business. Now I say I sling vitamins on the internet for a living. Who would ever thought? Where do you want me to go, Maria? You know some of my story. I could just keep rolling, but.
Yeah, I mean, I love it. So talk to us a little bit about that vision of the business, because I mean, and you've got to post in the event the picture of your house, like that's what got me when and it was your home, like it's but it's just a good visual representation. It's kind of like when I share the first home that Jaden and I had just as a single mom. I mean, it's that visual representation of at that point in time, we were happy. I was so proud. You know what I mean? Like I was so proud, and it was ours, and it was, but there was a vision that was expanded for me early in the business, that there could be more. And it's not around here. It's not about the size of a home. It's not. But I know you've kind of shared, there were some challenges with your home because of where you live, that didn't have a lot of options for you guys. So what was it? Talk to us a little bit about just that, because you believed in the product, and I don't think anybody on here has any doubt in our products, right? But what is it that takes someone from being a loyal thriver, and this is a side gig, side hustle, I can make a little extra, to this can actually transform everything about our life if we go all in with this? Yeah, absolutely. So go back to the event after this video, you guys, and I'll get that picture in there she's talking about, because it is a powerful photo. And so we were living in a trailer house, and I lived there for 10 years. And we live in Wisconsin. Every year gets cold, pipes break, frozen pipes under the trailer house. Anybody who's ever lived in one knows there's challenges with trailer house. I love that place. It was our home at the time. It did us well, but my wife's the accountant brain in the background all the time. She always has the dates and everything, but it was that first winter. We started in March, and it was our first winter. The following winter, I was underneath that trailer house, army crawling under there to go fix some broken pipes again. 10th winter in a row. And I had a flashlight in my mouth because it's dark, and I had a flashlight in my mouth, and I bent down with that flashlight, dead rat this big underneath my face right there, elbow down. And that was the moment, as I was trying to
get my butt out of there because I always knew where there's one, there's more, right? So as I'm trying to scurry my butt back out underneath that trailer house where you only got, just enough room, I got out of there and I came inside. I was pissed and I looked there. I said, that's enough. I'm done. I'm not going to go one more winter in a trailer house. And that was a point where that was a pivotal point in our business, right? We've been doing the business. We've been doing well, right? That was where I was like, all right, I'm all in. It's not going to matter anymore. From now on, it's not about just changing people's lives. That's one message. This is a message I'd like to give out, and I usually give it privately when I'm talking to people, but I'm going to share it on here because but stay with me when I share it. If you want to get your product for free, maybe a 4K, Thrive is about changing some people's lives, right? It's about just those lives. Now, if you want to take this to a 12K level, 40K, 80K, if you want to take this to a 200K level, it's got to be more than about changing lives. It has to be. It's got to be about, there's got to be a financial something tied to it, a financial why tied to it. Because here's the thing, guys, you are not going to send a message to everybody on your friends list on Facebook if you just want to change people's lives. That's like going to a restaurant. When you come back from a great restaurant, you're going to share with that restaurant. Maybe you'll post on your wall on Facebook. You might send a private message to your mom and your uncle and your sister, but that's where it stops. To me, that's somebody who's going to thrive for free. That's all they want. That's what they're going to do. They're going to share a post on their Facebook, and they're going to send it to a couple people. They're not going to private message every single person in their Facebook about that restaurant. That would just be crazy without being compensated. So now comes in the compensation. Once you realize how much this business can compensate you, your goals evolve. And again, it's not about the size of the house, but you got to solve a problem, and money solves problems. Whether it's because you want to give more to your church, to charity, or whatever it is, money solves problems. And if somebody's going to make it, it might as well be me, is what I figured. That was literally when we flipped the promoter button. I told my wife when she flipped that, I said, you know what? I don't want anything to do with this business yet, but if somebody's going to make the money off those referrals, if they're not going to charge us anything to belong to the company, you might as well make the money on it, even if it's $15 a month, who cares? And our goals in the beginning were just to maybe we'd get enough on that Payoneer card to be able to take a trip to the Wisconsin Dells, which is like 2.5 hours from our house, right? So that may be a big trip for people from a long ways away, but for us, it cost us like $500. That was dreaming big. But after I come up from the trailer house and I was done, right? I was done. I'm like, we need to go after this. After seeing that rat, I'm like, we need to go after this. Our family deserves it. We put an addition on the trailer, so we've done everything we could to put our family in there and have a safe and great environment. But I was done. I needed something more. And so we put it on our vision board. We love vision boards. If you don't do vision boards, if you don't have your own, don't wait for somebody to throw a party. Be the party. Do your own vision board. And here's the trick. It's not just about you. You got to make that vision board about your family. You got to include your family. That's my advice, is if you don't have your family on board, there's no way you're going to be spending an extra 2 hours in your office at night, because your husband's going to be pissed because you're in that office for 2 hours when he wanted to be sitting on the couch watching Netflix with you. But when you share that vision with him, when he's got his, whatever is side-by-side or four-wheeler or a hunting trip or the new fishing reel or whatever it is, when he sees that on the vision board and knows that's what you're working for, that's when you can really start putting in the extra time. Because that's what it's going to take. It takes time if you have big goals. Now, again, if you just want to thrive for free, no big deal. Post a couple posts on Facebook, do some good ones with your DFT showing. It's going to create some interest. Send a couple messages. That's awesome. I'm talking for people who want big goals. They want the auto bonus because they're sick of driving around the minivan. They got the front bumper duct taped on and zip tied together, and it's rusting apart. That was us. We went and got a nicer minivan when we hit that auto bonus. Again, no background. My wife was a bean counter in the office, not a sociable person really at all. I owned a concrete business, did not have a big network, 62 friends on Facebook. She had 300 and some friends on Facebook, and she hit the auto bonus in like 35 days, I think. And that's not because we have some big network. It's because when we decided to go for it, we decided to go for it, and we tied a goal to her hitting 40K. I'm not telling anybody to ever quit their job, but we sent her back to work. She'd been a stay-at-home mom for 2 years. When we started thriving, she'd start thriving like 2 weeks after going back to work. And we needed an extra like $200 a month. That's all we needed, just to make ends meet. I wanted her home with our son because I felt that's what I wanted. And that's all we needed was an extra $200. So we tied a goal to 40K. I think it was maybe on Kim's Collins's call. You guys talked about tying a goal to certain things, and we tied a goal to 40K. Look, I got goosebumps. Right? If you don't get goosebumps when you tell your story, you got to write your story down again. But when she hit 40K, we brought her home. That was it. I'm like, you're coming back home. You're working from home. You're not a stay-at-home mom. You're a work-from-home mom. But it's a totally different deal, And so she came home. She started working from home. That was a goal for her. We tied a goal to me going 80K. Again, I'm not telling anybody quit your job. We're nuts. We're crazy. We're passionate. When we know we're going to do something, we do it. We go all in. There's no holding back. We have our family on board. We have 3 kids. We have stuff. We have life, but we put our heads down and went after it, and we still go after it. And we want to be at the top of the PPA chart on our team every month. We don't want somebody. I want somebody beating us, but that's our drive. And we're not competitive people when it comes to sports and stuff. But I want to win in business. I want to win this because I know there's an opportunity here that's huge. And yeah. So yeah, I see what happens, you guys. I get excited, I get passionate, and kind of go.
No, I mean, that's how you got to where you are. I mean, that's just the reality of it. If you're not excited about it, but see, here's the deal. I love that you talked about this because I actually put this post up on Team Thrive Nation the other day. How do you define success if you don't know what you're going towards? And it's not 40K. What the heck does 40K mean to you? You have to tie something to that, because that right there, her knowing if I do this, I get this, makes you do it. I mean, when we lived in a 31-foot bumper pull camper for 40 days with 6 kids, with 6 people, 4 kids, 6 people on top of each other, I knew it was temporary. See, I knew if I did this for this long, we're going to get here. And then when we lived 6 people for a year and a half and 900 square feet while we were building our home, while I was building this business, it was temporary. See, I was willing to do because there was something that I was working. I mean, I literally could look outside the barn that we lived in and see those things happening. So this is why it's so important to have those visions and those goals right in front of you and then be working towards those. You can't just go aimlessly. I mean, you've got to have a vision for where you're going because that's what allows you to move and do, because this business does not exist without action. Nothing happens if you don't do something. And let's talk about that, Dustin. What is the do? I mean, you guys are super disciplined. I mean, you've stayed in the zone. You don't, you've never gone elsewhere. Squirrel. I mean, you guys keep the main thing. You've stayed incredibly focused. You're still doing the same thing today that you were doing on your road to 200K. So talk to them a little bit about that do.
Yeah, I got 2 great points on that topic. I love this topic. So I have a saying, it's called be a product of the brand, be a rep for the 3 core. So you got to be you want to be a product, some people say be a product of the product, right? But Le-Vel is no longer just 3 core products. So I say be a product of our brand, use all the products. But when you're on Facebook, let's just go Facebook, because let's be real, who makes money on any other platform? All our money's been made on Facebook. So we still stick Facebook primarily. You'll see an Instagram account, and just doing a little bit here and there, but Facebook's where the money's made. So on Facebook, we're a product of the brand, but we're a rep for the 3 core. So you'll see us post about the 3 core products primarily. That doesn't mean 1 in 10 posts, maybe we'll throw something on about Boost or something on about that. But you got to be thinking how many posts are scrolling past people's faces all day long. And you put out, today you put out one about Blast, one about skin, one about this, one about that. Now here's the 3 core. And you do that, maybe you only post about 3 core 3 times a week. Your friends never even saw one of those posts. So we really go back to always what we did in the beginning, because what we did in the beginning worked, right? We hammered the stories. We hammered the 3 core products. And sure, we post the stories different now. So we'll share from the fan page, and then we'll copy and paste one, and then maybe we'll put a video in there, and we'll just throw, today, I just put on, what was your one random thing that you didn't expect Thrive to do for you. And, I got a bunch of Thrivers commenting on there, and, and so keeping the main thing, you guys, in my opinion, is the 3 core products, right? That's instant gratification. That's the noticing something on day 1, day 3, day 10. The other products are amazing, but we can sell those once they love the product, because for us personally, we see referrals come off of the 3 core. I don't see referrals coming off of selling Boost, right? Just Boost. They're not referring their friends to come buy Boost, so I want that person's network. I don't just want that person, when I get a new person, I'm like, awesome, I got that, they're thriving. I want to make sure they're loving their experience, offering good customer service, but then I want their network. That's my goal. Because my network is only so big, but their network's it adds to it. So
that right there is gold, guys. I mean, you've got to be thinking every new Thriver that you're introducing this to, that opens a whole window of opportunity for you. Like sometimes people get so, oh, I got to go do this. I got to go do this. I got to do this. I got to do this. I need new people. What you don't understand is one new Thriver that probably lives down the road from you or goes to school with your kids can literally introduce you to thousands of people in the next 4 years that will thrive with them. See, that's where we expand, is that one person. And like he said, I'm going to give them good customer service. I'm going to help them thrive for free. They go, they join this company. We're going to make sure they go VIP 800, VIP 1600, but then that expands because see, he thinks like a business owner.
It's a business, absolutely. And I treat my Facebook like a business. Some people are like, oh, you got to, mix all this stuff up. It's business, man. If you can make 6 figures posting on Facebook and leveraging that Facebook Messenger, and you still think that Facebook is social media, it's your place to, no. Facebook it's a tool that's free. See, I get a little passionate about Facebook because, again, I remember I had 62 friends on Facebook. I didn't leverage it before Thrive as anything other than just, my wife told me I had to have it, and so I could see so-and-so's photos or whatever, and that's all I had it for. So now I really look at it as a business tool. Now, this is one other topic, and Maria, stay with me, so I don't want you getting, thinking I'm going somewhere else with this. So everybody, we hear a lot, 200Ks do the same thing today as we did in the beginning. They're lying to you. 200Ks don't do the same thing today as we did in the beginning. And my main thing is I don't want my newest people thinking they should be doing what I'm doing. The newest person should be throwing up all over their Facebook feed. Holy buckets, I feel amazing today. Oh my God, I haven't had my coffee today. Oh my God, this and that. They're just puking it everywhere and it looks horrible. And their friends are going, what are you doing? They got you in a cult. Oh my gosh, I got to have an intervention. That's what that news person's Facebook feed should look like. My God, why not? Because they got a whole fresh feed of people to see what this amazing product is doing for them. And, they're going to maybe lose a couple of friends. A couple people are going to say something, but big deal. If they have visions and goals of doing more than just getting their product for free, they want to go 12K, 40K, 80K, 200K, they're going to piss a few people off along the way. And that's okay. Those people aren't paying their bills. Their opinions don't pay your bills. You know what the product's doing for you. No one can ever take your story away. And, 200Ks, we have, a s'more. I love s'more. If you guys don't have s'more, leverage s'more. If you've been doing this a while, you should have s'more. But you shouldn't have s'more if you've got 30 free accounts, right? You don't need s'more. You need to go get some free accounts. You should have, because if you've been in this a while, like a 200K has been doing this for a while, we have, 5, 6, 700, 2,000, 3,000 free accounts that we want to keep sending messages out to, and a tool like S'more or MailChimp, those kinds of things are a great tool to reach out to them. But that newest Thriver, we don't want to bog them down with that stuff, right? We want them reaching out to their friends list. We want them sharing on Facebook, want them getting those free accounts, those core things at the 200Ks, we still do those, but we do some more. And our Facebook is a little more strategic because we've been posting every single day for almost 6 years. You go through my Facebook feed, I probably have never missed a day of posting about Thrive because I treat it like a business.
Yeah. Yeah, you know what? That is a really, really, really good point. And I think sometimes people can get distracted, I think, in thinking that they have to do the things that a 200, like a brand new person doesn't need to be hosting a training Zoom, right? But let's talk about what that brand new person has to be doing. What are the things that brand new person, other than throwing up on Facebook? But guys, I mean, I just want them to hear from you and not me.
Yeah.
I need the validation, because I have said the same thing for how long? Over and over and over and over. I need your input.
And, those newest people coming in, they need to be making the list. The list never goes away. I mean, I don't care how social media changes things. You go back to, again, I knew nothing about this industry in the beginning, right? I'd never been with another company, but I got in, I started, I never read a book prior to Thrive either. 5th grade is the last time I read a book, but I started getting into audio books, and everything I'm hearing on, the 4-year career and all these things is, you got to make a list. My favorite way to make a list is have them grab a piece of paper, they write a name, they skip a line, they write a name, they skip a line, they write a name, they skip a line. Have them write down 10 names of people that need the product for the joints or whatever they're noticing. Like, hey, can you write down 10 people that are dealing with that same issue? They write those 10 names down. And then later they go back and fill the blanks in. They'll go look at that person and who do they know that you know? And now they just created a list instead of 10 names, and now they got 20, 30 names. And, and they do that for, who needs the product, who needs a business opportunity, and who just plain downright trusts them. That's the stuff we do in the beginning to get them rolling. You get their story out of them. Nobody ever thinks they have a story, right? Every Thriver we have come in, there's the occasional that's just got mind-blowing results right away. But we usually got to peel the story out of them. Here's a tip. Take your customer, right? You got that customer doesn't want to be a promoter because they don't have a story, but they've been taking their product for 3 months. Send them a message at a time. Don't try to hit a home run with one message and ask them, hey, can you write your story up? I think we should submit it to the fan page. They're going to say, no, that's work. They want to be a customer, not a promoter. But if you say, hey, what was your favorite thing you noticed about Thrive right away in the beginning? Just get that answer. That's easy for them to answer, what was the biggest struggle you're struggling with before Thrive? Just give them little teeny things to answer and write their story for them. Get yourself 5 answers, write one of those mini stories for them, and say, look at how awesome your story is. This is where you were, this is where you are now, and you're excited for the results coming ahead because you got, maybe some goals out of them. And now you can refer back to that. And 2, when they're ready to be a promoter, you have it and their story's ready to send into the fan page. Get their stories on the fan page. I think Molly has 1 or 2, Haskins has a couple 200Ks from the fan page. If you guys aren't leveraging the fan page, that's Thrive 101, right? Be doing your shout outs over on that fan page. Why? Because did you know when you type in Le-Vel.com on Google, Le-Vel.com, they give you options, find me a promoter. They'll send them right over to the fan page to find a promoter. People are searching and they're going to Facebook, they're seeing Le-Vel there, they're going over there and they're looking who's shouting people out, right? Oh, if they're with another company, I'm not a ship jumper, obviously, but if I'm gonna jump ship, I'm gonna go look at who's the leader in this company, who's posting, who's got lots going on. Well, that's over on that fan page is where they can see that so easily. So get your story out there, do your shout outs over there for your people as they're getting new customers and stuff. Have those people get on calls. Share when Maria asks you to share on her call because you're 2 months in or 1 month in and you're rocking the business or the product. Share on that call. I still regret that to this day. It's like I remember getting 2 separate calls and I made shit up, you guys. Oh, excuse me. I made stuff up, and I just like, no, I can't do it. I got, this. I could have done it. I could have stuck my kids on an iPad in the corner and I could have done it. But we're all there, but keep reaching out to those people because eventually they'll share. What else, Maria? We're at 30 minutes already. Oh.
I know. No, it's been great, and you've shared so many just nuggets. I think there's not complexity to this business. I mean, this is about 30 simple steps first thing in the morning. It's going to make a difference in people's lives, and there's a heck of an opportunity that's attached to it. And that's what we do. And I think hopefully in this Zoom series you guys have seen that all of us, we all bring so many different things to the table. Everybody has a different background, everybody has different experiences, and that's why I've always said we're so much better together because you can just learn so much. We always learn so much from each other, and then it just makes you go, yeah, I hope you guys leave all of these Zooms going, okay, I've got to get back, who are my newest thrivers? Who are my newest free accounts? Who are the next people that are going to start their Thrive experience? And how can I provide more validation to the people that are not yet thriving with me? What can I do to get them started? And hopefully you're leaving with, gosh, this is a no-brainer. Like, I want this. I see this opportunity. Here's why I'm going to do this for my family. And you're ready to work. Because no one got anywhere in this company without putting in the work and the connections and the conversations and the relationships, and then utilizing all that's on the table for you guys. I can't even, we just have so much on the table for us, but so many gifts, truly, but we just have to accept them, and really make that decision to run with what we've got, good stuff. Facebook will be flooded over the next week, just because we have so many people heading to Mexico. We have announcements that are coming. Don't think that, how do I say this? Because I think you can post too much, but it's really not too much. I think you can, the reality is use what you see and make sure you're actually taking it over to someone else, whatever the announcements are. You've got somebody that's kind of been on the fence. You take that announcement and you're not only just posting that, but you're actually going to their messenger and you're just saying, hey, I threw out a post, crazy announcements just came back from Mexico. I think this might be perfect for you. Have you taken another thought about Thrive, or however you want to communicate with them. But just keep reaching out and keep inviting, but share in the excitement. That is something that we've always made noise. I mean, when you make noise, you're going to get people's attention. And we make positive noise around here. I mean, think about the stories, think about the calls, think about our Le-Vel YouTube channel, all of those things. I mean, those are good, positive stories, and good Lord, Facebook needs more positive things that are on there. Anyway, you know what I mean? And so that's what draws people in. At the end of the day, that's what draws people in, and seeing your consistency. So any last closing thoughts before we hop off?
Well, yeah, one last thing, guys. Think about making a 6-figure income, how many hours you got to work per day at your 9-to-5 job in order to make that. Math that out. Now actually track how many hours you're putting in your Le-Vel business, not scrolling Facebook, actual hours putting in. Figure it out. Are you even close? If you want to earn a 6-figure income in something, are you putting in the time? You got to put in some time. The reward is worth it, though. Trust me, guys, it's worth it.
I love it. Put in the time. The reward's worth it. All right. Everybody say thank you to Dustin for being on. Thank you. And we're going to wrap this up. We'll see you guys in Mexico.